Let's go.
Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League Asia. My name is Simon. With me is Ending. How's it going, man?
I feel great, and we're today doing Group A, and you know, it's nothing important, but it's your first day. It's my second day of Group A. We've actually been mostly focusing on Group B.
Yeah.
So now we get to, you know, kind of taste a new group of how the pace of the game is in Group A.
Yeah, well, hopefully my luck continues and we get 3 sets of King of the Hills, because I do not want to see these games end quickly. We've got DragonX, Kicks, PONOS, Chaos Theory. I mean, Talon. Like, this group is so stacked. Detonation Gaming starting their, like, mid-season comeback that they do every year, every season. They always, like, play bad for the first half, and then the second half they just dominate, but never quite qualify. I mean, like,
it's like you're almost there. It's
almost.
Like you're doing an icebreaker and you actually break the ice, but you're not supposed to break the ice. You're supposed to stay on the ice this time. But anyways, yeah. But Detonation Gaming, yeah, they are slowly coming back. How about Talon, though? There's no sign of them coming back yet. They're still 1-5.
Yeah, they've had a few. They've had a very downward-facing season, but you know they did take one game.
Yeah, they did.
Off Benzaridel, UVR. So they haven't had a great season so far, but maybe this will be the start of the turnaround for them. We'll see. As you can see, Group A on the left, Kicks, DragonX, both tied at the top 4 and 2. They will kick us off tonight. Chaos Theory, then PONOS, Detonation Gaming, then Talon. And it seems once again, I'm casting first versus second, third versus fourth, fifth versus sixth.
We actually did that for Group B together. I guess we're in luck for actually exciting matchups, exciting brackets, and like Simon just mentioned, we have the top 2, the middle 2, the bottom 2 versing each other, and when that happens, it's very important for every single team. Obviously, every game is important, but when it's your team against a team that's right under you, or right on top of you, you have to beat them, right?
Yeah, especially when like all these teams have tied standings apart from Talon, right? So DragonX and Kicks both 4 and 2. Chaos Theory, PONOS, I believe they're both 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Detonation Gaming is
3 and 3. No, they're 3 and 3.
They're 3 and 3.
Yeah, so there's 3 and 3 teams.
Okay,
yeah.
and then Talon there, down at the bottom of 1 and 5. But we're about to get into this. The teams are almost ready to jump on. As you can see, Kicks and DragonX, both 4 and 2. Kicks plus 4 in score, whereas DragonX are plus 3. So right now, currently, Kicks are number 1, DragonX are second.
Definitely, you know, they're literally 1 point away from each other, and you know, first and second, to be honest, right now for all of these teams, they want to just stay in top 4 because that's the cutoff. So the bottom 2, you get cut off, you can't go to the finals. So for now, majority of these teams and players, they want to do their best to stay in top 4.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter if, you know, as you said, finishing first, finishing fourth, it doesn't matter. You go through.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to finish first to have a strong, like, push into the next round, into the playoff parts, right?
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if they've already qualified. They're still going to perform. They're still going to come here day after day and just take names. Like, it's unbelievable. But today's matches, we're going to have True, Fast, and Alpha for DragonX versus Onion and Legend. Line versus Pedro should be straight fire. And then if we get to King of the Hill, they do have a 4th player in Nuri and Meluntin today.
Yep. I think it was G-Clef and I, or maybe it was Paper Thin. I can't, my memory's going away. But we were talking about how, you know, Meluntin, he used to come out a lot for the 2v2s and even for the 1v1s, but now with Pedro just dominating so hard in the 1v1s, and Legend, who used to be Kicks' 1v1 player, moved up into that 2v2 with Onion. Now Malenton's on the bench, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because I have him on my fantasy Royale, and he's not playing.
Well, Malenton always used to play with Dios Stitch,
Yeah,
who moved,
that is true.
I believe, to Talon. Dios Stitch?
No, he retired.
Oh, he retired?
Yeah, he retired.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Malenton is there on his own. He doesn't have his 2v2 partner. But he came in during the last round, played the 2v2, and absolutely dominated.
Oh, yeah.
It was a clean 2-0.
It definitely was. Malenton, he still has the skill. Well, to be honest, all the players here, they have the skills, because if you're not good enough, they're not going to get you into a quote-unquote pro Clash Royale League team. But here we go. Onion and Legend, their record not so bad, 3-2. And same goes for, whatchamacallit, Alpha and TrueFast. Their record was also 3-2 in the 2v2. So now it's a 3-2 versus one of them is going to get a loss today.
Yeah, what's interesting is DragonX ban out the P.E.K.K.A. I'm looking at Legend and Onion.
Yeah.
Their wins have come with P.E.K.K.A. in their decks.
Oh, yeah.
They had the Ram Rider Mega Knight P.E.K.K.A. I mean, this is 2v2, so
Yeah.
you can throw anything with those cards.
Of course.
They also had the Graveyard Freeze with Mega Knight, P.E.K.K.A. and Executioner. So you've taken out two of their successful decks by banning P.E.K.K.A. Tornado ban really doesn't affect everyone. Everyone practices 2v2 without Tornado. But we're going to get into game one very shortly. So as you can see, Onion and Legend for Kicks Gaming in red at the top, TrueFast and Alpha in blue at the bottom.
All right, here we go. All right, Lava. This is something that we've been seeing a lot, and obviously Giant Skeleton as well. You know, usually people like to use Giant Skeleton with the Tornado, but Tornado always just being bad every time. We haven't been able to see that, but there we go, the Graveyard.
Yeah, but that Giant Skeleton is actually going to get
Oh
right
my
onto the
goodness.
tower so early, taking down that tower pretty much with the skeletons there. 180 remain. Anything will finish that off. And then look at the top. That Lava Hound has done almost nothing to the tower.
Exactly. This is the downfall of just early Lava Hound, is because, yeah, we can kind of sacrifice the Lava Hound to get and lock onto the Princess Tower for a little bit. It's not going to be too much, but when that baby dragon who's following the Lava Hound plus the Mega Minion lock on, then they'll do some damage. Now 592.
Yeah, interesting defensive freeze there by Onion and Legend, making sure that they do not lose that tower, because the Lava Hound did nothing, but everything else that supported it took it down to 592. 180 on DragonX's bottom left tower, and we have another Lava Hound slowly going up that right-hand side. What are they going to do to support it? There's a Giant Skeleton and a Musketeer to defend as well.
All right, here we go. It seems like Musketeer, all right, locking onto the Lava Hound. The Giant Skeleton's going to soak up the Mega Minion for a little bit. But now they're not worried about the bottom left because it's only 180 HP. They're gonna just they're gonna just focus on the right side, even with the tower down, not to worry too much for Kicks.
Yeah, but very nicely cleaned up there by DragonX. No, not as much purchase this time. 2184, they barely dented that tower as this baby dragon goes forward. And obviously will die to the King Towers there.
All right, well, I'm very curious as to how Kicks are going to turn it around, because they lost their tower first, even though, like I said, 180 is not a big deal, but the pocket is open. So now when the pocket is open and when your opponent's pocket's not open yet, that's a huge problem, depending, because, you know, yeah, there we go, the pocket lava. When you get the double Lava Hound in the pocket, it's going to hurt, and it's going to be distracting many of your units here.
Yeah, guards there with the Inferno Dragon will take out very easily that Giant Skeleton. The bomb does take out the Baby Dragon. Will the Dark Prince connect? It does, finishing that tower, evening up the score. But look at how much is coming down there. There are two Musketeers.
Oh,
there's a Prince, a Giant Skeleton, and another Giant Skeleton.
A Giant Skeleton push with the Giant Skeleton push, and I think both of the Giant Skeleton are on the tower.
Congratulations if you had Onion and Legend if your fantasy team, because that is 6 crowns between the two of them right there. Crazy, crazy 2v2.
I gotta swap some of my players. But that was a great 3 crown. To be honest, DragonX in the early game, they let the Giant Skeletons plus the graveyard damage just do so much damage. They did have a slight comeback by getting and kind of evening things out by getting that top right Princess Tower down with the Lava Hound. However, like we're talking about, Kicks, they weren't worried because that bottom left tower was basically gone. They were basically thinking in their heads, all right, it's a 1-to-1 trade. However, we got the earlier advantage, so we can take advantage of that. We can, you know, kind of bring this game to our pace, the way we want to play it.
And this is one of the problems when you're playing with Lava Hound is your opponent can build massive, massive pushes just trying to defend. Anything that hits here is going to stack up. And look at this. Look, Prince and just double skeleton. The Prince is just pushing both giant skeletons there onto the tower. And that alone is over 2,000 damage.
Oh, yeah.
The skeletons from the graveyard easily chew for everything there. And that is that. That was crazy 2v2.
That was correct. That was just crazy. And DragonX, they had the Inferno Dragon, they had the Baby Dragon, they had the Flying Machine out. But, like you said, when we have a Prince pushing 2 giant skeletons, Baby Dragon's not going to be much of help. Flying Machine, 1 Flying Machine is not going to be much of help.
Yeah, nothing is going to help you there, but we are going to get into Game 2 here between Onion and Legend for Kicks in red and Truefast and Alpha in blue. At the bottom. Are Truefast and Alpha going to be able to pull this back? It looks like we're going to go Fade.
Really? In a 2v2? Like, we haven't seen such a light deck or a fast cycling deck on a 2v2 in a very long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember when all the Japanese teams were playing this kind of log bait, spell bait style, and they got really good purchase, but they didn't defend very well. DragonX there have taken a bit too much damage. 1633 remaining on the bottom right tower. And this Dark Goblin isn't even going to get a single dart onto the tower. It's not looking good for DragonX at this point.
They definitely have to switch lanes early because 1600 is still good enough. There we go, Scale Barrel on the left, because when there's maybe like, you know, 200 to 500-600 left on your Princess Tower, it's already too late to switch lanes. However, when you have something over 1,000 HP on your Princess Tower, I think it's best to try to just start a new game on a new lane with both the Princess Tower at full HP. They're doing that. Scale Barrel breaks through, Graveyard, however, double Baby Dragon and even the Musketeer in the back will defend it just perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking kind of interesting that DragonX have bought the Graveyard here because they don't really have much to tank for that Graveyard. Yeah. They don't really have anything to tank, actually, to let that Graveyard do the damage, but we'll see how it goes. Baby Dragon does connect onto the tower, is snowballed out of the way, connects onto the Dark Goblin. And the Rascal Boy is going to make it to the tower. The Princess is going to fall to the log, and we get it stuck. Right now, we can take stock of the field. 1652, 1633. DragonX are definitely on the back foot.
All right, they got to do their last lane switch to the King Tower.
Just go straight down the middle, guys. There's no bridge there. Yeah. We see the Dark Prince here connect with the Rascal Boy. He's going to get taken out by those Rascal Girls. Everything's going to move forward, and we see, here we go.
All right, well, once again, they're trying the Scale Barrel Graveyard. They do come out with the early freeze. They're doing quite a lot of damage here. Nice Giant Snowball to slow it down, but still, so many nice RNG spawns from that Graveyard will do a ton of damage.
That is exactly what DragonX needed, and suddenly they're in the lead. It was looking so bad for so long, but there is the counter freeze. The Graveyard is down. The Dark Goblin and the Bats are making light work, and the Skeletons coming from that Graveyard. The Giant Skeleton, is it going to get to the tower? It's going to be very, very close. No, it's not, but it is going to take out the Dark Prince and the Dark Goblin before they get out of range. 1050, we're all even. Giant Skeleton and another Graveyard played down. Bats in support, Baby Dragon as well. Will they be able to get the freeze? Freeze is there. The Skeletons are coming in.
Defensive freeze here to get rid of like 4 to 5 Skeletons that were stuck on the Princess Tower. Great defense right now by DragonX. Even the previous attack with a double Giant Skeleton was also very nicely defended. Wow, the pair of DragonX this time in this game, I think there are 2 different pairs here.
It's looking very, very close. There was a beautiful look to keep that Giant Skeleton and keep DragonX in the game, and now they're trying to go forward. Are they going to be able to get forward? That is the question. 2 Skeletons do get taken out before they get to the tower. The Baby Dragon is going there. Giant Skeleton to block, but a Graveyard in the back.
All right, here we go. They're actually going to go with the offensive poison as well. Both of their tower HP are very low, and the freeze! Defensive freeze coming through even with the Giant Snowball. Look at this. 65 HP. Just one quick cycle into a log that Alpha is holding. It's going to be GG.
Yeah, and that is...
There we go.
Whew. That was... This 2v2
Yeah.
is some of the best 2v2 I've seen. This is so close between these two teams.
While I was watching this, I was thinking in my head, why do my 2v2s never look like this? It's always like, all right, I'm going to 3 crown or I get 3 crown.
Oh, man.
It's like, this was just a very exciting game to watch. It was super close.
That was an amazing comeback. It was looking very, very rough for DragonX for the longest time.
Yeah.
But we've seen time after time Freeze in 2v2. Ridiculously strong. Is it time to say that Freeze in 2v2 is stronger than Tornado in 2v2?
You know, Tornado always being banned, right? Like, G-Clef and I were talking about this on Thursday. Because it's always banned, all these players, in their heads, Tornado, that card does not exist. They always build a deck around, you know,
not having Tornado,
exactly. And now the Freeze is coming to action, and we saw both DragonX and Kicks at least once use the Freeze for defensive purposes against the Graveyard. Obviously, you don't want to do that. You want to save it for, you know, something where, you know, offensive Freeze or possibly a bridge Freeze when, you know, they're coming through and you don't want something to get there. But either way, they use the Freeze defensively very well against the Graveyard.
Do you remember when Freeze was pretty much a joke of a card? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, everyone was like, why would you put Freeze in a deck? But now, Freeze in 2v2 is just out of this world. We're going to see if Onion and Legend are going to take set 1, or if True Fast and Alpha are going to take this one, and another Dark Goblin spawn right at the bridge, taken out by an instant log, and another Dark Goblin this time is going to get taken out by the bats. Poor Dark Goblins, they're barely getting a look at the tower, and there is the Skelly Barrel. What is going to go on here? The Baby Dragon's going to try to defend this. The poison comes down.
Offensive poison here coming in early. Dark Prince down, and look at that giant skeleton tanking the Princess Tower at the bottom right with the Graveyard coming through. So they're basically doing the same thing.
Yeah, good Princess placement there.
Oh, Freeze! Look at all the skeletons!
And that giant skeleton is it in range? It is very close. You can see
one square away.
Even True Fast then was holding his breath. Like, that's a bit too close.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely.
If it wasn't for that log, if that giant skeleton had gone down half a second faster, we'd have been looking at a dead tower.
And the giant snowball to slow it down. Ooh. That was just way too close. And what I wanted to say after game 2 was, yeah, DragonX took that game, but Kicks in game 1, they took it so well. It was clean. It's a clean win. Game 2, it was kind of iffy. You know, it was way too close. So I'm very curious if DragonX has it in them to do that again in game 3.
There's the offensive poison. Baby Dragon on the back of Giant Snowball has been thrown down to try and defend. The Giant Skeleton here is probably going to get taken out by the Rascal Girls before it crosses the bridge. The Baby Dragon is going to try to take them out first. No, it does drop at the bridge. And the Dark Prince and the Graveyard coming in now on that left-hand side. Are they going to be able to get purchased? A couple of hits instantly. Dark Goblin at the back. MVP defender right there.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing getting done. And that's a very scary push coming through.
Yeah, if this game had like a kill count show, that Dark Goblin would have a ton of kills right now.
He would be Sergeant Dark Goblin with this performance right now. Even surviving the bomb. Is it going to get a hit? It does.
Oh, and 2 hits.
Unbelievable Dark Goblin performance there, but the poisons are coming down. Offensive and defensive poison. The barrel does get instantly taken out, but that tower is getting very low. 808 remaining. So, Kicks decide to go down the other side.
Ooh, Freeze! However, that Dark Goblin is still alive with the 3 skeletons that they popped from DragonX. So, you know, that bottom right tower started at 580 HP. 380, even with the Freeze Graveyard, I think that's very well defended by DragonX.
Yeah, but look at the value they got on that giant skeleton death damage. Everything was taken out there. Bats distract the Dark Goblin ever so slightly, and another Graveyard. Whose Graveyard is going to do the most damage? That is where we're going to get down to that Dark Goblin again.
Top left, top left.
Is it going to go down?
Really? What happened? I think Kicks, we saw them poison and freeze the bottom right. They didn't notice how many skeletons were on their tower at top left.
unbelievable game. Like the first game was domination by Kicks. That was clinical, it was clean. DragonX barely got any purchase in that game. Game 2 and Game 3 were just neck and neck the whole way there. And it looked like Kicks, if you give them 3 extra seconds, I believe they would have tied that up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because they poisoned Freeze because they knew that that was the damage that it needed to get down that Princess Tower. But like I said, they weren't paying attention to their own tower with their graveyard because they did have a baby dragon on that lane, but it already passed. It didn't lock onto any of the skeletons that were spawning, so maybe they miscalculated, but we'll see the highlights.
Yeah, well, Game 1 was absolutely clinical by Kicks. If you want to know how to play 2v2, this is how you do it. Giant skeleton with the graveyard and a prince just taking out that tower almost instantly. They did take a lot of damage, but look at this. Just appreciate the beauty here of this push.
Double giant skeleton, even with the freeze. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Even without the graveyard there, that tower would have died. It was unbelievable. But here we see how close this got.
Yeah.
Dark Goblin, honestly, this game was MVP for DragonX in both Game 2 and Game 3. It did so much work just clearing out those graveyards. Just insane value by the Dark Goblin.
Yeah. Look at this here. You see how close it was? Even before this ending, you know, DragonX, they were so busy cycling through, they wanted to log, and you can tell. But look at this. This part was very, very dangerous. So I thought when I saw this, the giant skeleton, you called it out. It was so close. If it took one more step, that tower would have been down. And the graveyard spawns were actually pretty great, but this is the one I'm talking about. It started at 500 HP. They even used the freeze. However, that Dark Goblin that you love so much did a perfect job defending it, keeping it at 380, and now they're matching it. And they're matching it, and this is where Kicks kind of miscalculated.
The Dark Goblin here was the difference between both teams.
Yeah.
The Dark Goblin did such a good job defending that graveyard, and they always played it in a way where it would never get caught by the poison or the freeze. They kept it open, they kept it free. They would play it on the left-hand side if the graveyard's on the right. They would play right at the back, so you're going to have to do damage to the King Tower. Nobody wants to activate the King Tower during the game. Phenomenal play by True Fast and Alpha. Yeah, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah,
incredible.
It was a great game, and like I said, Game 2 was so close that I was kind of worried about DragonX, but now they've done it. They did get their revenge because you guys have to know, all our games today is a revenge match of Week 1. So, in Week 1, Kicks versus DragonX, Kicks won.
Kicks dominated.
And like even this lineup right now, Pedro versus Line. Line got defeated 0-2.
Yeah.
So now this is Lion's chance after half the season has gone past to see if Lion has practiced enough at least to go up against Pedro, who has literally 2-0'd him.
Well, you know what? Lion has beaten Benzer it out with a minor balloon roll giant. He has lost to Tengod with Ice Bow, so he can play Ice Bow. Yeah. But, you know, he didn't have a great game. But, I mean, Pedro, what can Pedro not play? Looking at his things, Royal Giant, Minor Balloon, Goblin Giant Sparky, Dark Prince Graveyard, Ram Rider, P.E.K.K.A, Dark Prince. He plays everything. How can you prepare against Pedro?
You can't. You just have to, you don't prepare for Pedro's decks. You just have to play better than him.
Which is impossible. Pedro is on another level.
Well, we'll have to see about that here because even set 1, True Fast Alpha, they lost to Onion and Legend. It was Onion Legend combo in Week 1 against this team, and they got their revenge. We'll see if Lion has prepped enough for that, and there we go with the balloon.
Balloon, Goblin Gang there. It's going to get a lot of damage. There is the
nice
giant
push.
snowball. This is incredible. Like, that tower is down.
The 3 Goblins have locked on, still full HP.
Speechless. Pedro, that was just downright dirty.
That was very dirty, but now he has to defend against this Lava Hound and the Baby Dragon that will soon come after the Ice Golem is down. And this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt.
I don't think it's going to hurt Pedro at all. Pedro is defending this really, really well. There is the Goblin Gang to take the aggro with the pups. And look at that, nothing.
Yeah.
Beautiful defense by Pedro. Just the I just can't even talk about Pedro's gameplay right now. It is incredible. That push on the right-hand side was just well-timed. He knew he had a window. He took that window. Exactly. How often do you see a Goblin Gang take down a tower from full HP? I know there's a balloon there, but this is insane.
All right, look at this.
And look at this balloon, again.
Goodness. Again, it's going to lock on one drop with the death damage. That's going to be more than good enough because he didn't spend that much elixirs. Now Pedro could focus on defending. He's going to distract that Inferno Dragon with that Ice Golem plus the guards while his Inferno Dragon breaks out.
But what does Pedro have to help defend here? He's only got the Inferno Dragon. That's a lot of stuff on the tower. Goblin Gang there. The giant snowball did push everything, but the Inferno
this
Dragon
one's going to hurt. This is going to hurt. The Inferno Dragon has locked on. It died. Baby Dragon locked on. Got pushed out.
7-7-3.
Yeah.
That Inferno Dragon looked as though it was going to take that tower. It looked like nothing was going to stop it. The giant snowball well timed to make sure that it could get the maximum defensive value. But this balloon isn't long for this world. Is it going to get the death damage though?
Yeah, that's a close one. That's a death damage right there. But now, once again, this one is going to be a little iffy with the Fisherman and the Inferno Dragon and the Baby Dragon. The Baby Dragon, Pedro, he has been using the Goblin Gang very well, but the Baby Dragon is a counter to the Goblin Gang, obviously. And here we go with the Miner in the back.
Fisherman is going to help take down that tower. Is it going to go down? 17 remain. Goodness. He does have Fireball, so DRX line does look as though he's going to help take this tower down. There is the pocket balloon with the Ice Golem. Fireball to push the balloon back. Baby Dragon to help try and take it out.
To zap it! Zap the Princess Tower! Line! Oh my goodness. Line. Maybe he didn't have the zap, but either way, 17 HP. It's something that... This is a mistake sometimes. Nothing against Line. I
don't think that's a mistake. He had to use that Fireball on defense. There was no option.
Of course. But he miscalculated. He miscalculated 100%. I know what he was thinking. He wanted to defend the balloon with the Fireball, obviously, because his Princess Tower, the second Princess Tower, was about to go down if he didn't defend it perfectly. But he also had in mind either Zap or Miner, but I was saying Zap, maybe he didn't have it. I didn't quite catch it if he used it on defense. But he sent the Miner thinking, all right, one shovel hit is going to even it up, and maybe I'll have a chance because I just defended his balloon perfectly.
See, this is where Pedro kind of started. No, I don't want to say he made a mistake, but that first example there with the Ice Golem pulling everything to the side, he defended perfectly. When he started playing the Ice Golem underneath everything, he couldn't defend. He wasn't pulling things away.
Yeah.
Everything was in that lane. And he almost got this tower. 17
even this
HP.
One.
He did have Zap. So the Miner went out when he should have probably played Zap. And look at that Miner placement. The Miner was actually one square left.
Yeah.
If that was right on the tower, I think he would have got that hit just in time.
Yeah, that was just very close. But when I say close for Line to even things up. But Pedro, obviously, you saw that game. He had the second Princess Tower down to 3 digits already after having Line's first tower down super quickly. So Pedro definitely had the lead, even though if Line evened things out, it was all Pedro's game because he can do pockets, he can do bridge spams, he can do whatever he wants because he basically had almost 2,000 HP ahead of Line.
Yeah, it was a nice play putting that Ice Golem and the balloon in the pocket there, just to make sure that, you know, Line had to spend Elixir at home, so he couldn't spend it on the offense.
Yeah.
But if he had Zap should have been in hand, I believe.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he cycled through an Inferno Dragon, Baby Dragon, even a Miner that he sent out later, and the Fireball that he used for defense, right? That's at least 3 cards, at least. 3 to 4 cards, and that should have brought Zap back into the lineup. And
Game 2.
I don't know.
Well, sometimes you just don't see the easy way out. But we are almost ready to get into game number 2 between Pedro and Line. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Line in blue at the bottom for DragonX. Pedro is on set point in red at the top. Pedro looks as though he is going to repeat week 1's performance where he took out Line 2-0 in that first week.
Yep, we'll have to see about that. And that Fisherman in the back, you only do that when you 100% know that there's no giant skeleton, and I'm pretty sure Pedro's sure after seeing the archers. and the miner. That may probably, there won't be a giant skeleton. There we go.
Probably, but you know,
Yeah, now we see the Tesla.
if this was my game, there'd be, you know, giant skeleton regardless, because it
Just-
doesn't make sense. It must be in the deck.
Just put it in. Just put it in.
Okay, so Tesla down. You
Yep.
do see the Inferno again from Pedro on that left-hand side. It is looking like a Royal Giant deck from him. There is the Fisherman again,
pull it.
pulling it in to the Prince Tower, the King Tower. No activation. Ice Golem slowly making its way down to that bottom right. And well, right now, both players just kind of feeling each other out. But there is a graveyard. Very interesting graveyard. Nothing to defend it here. Nothing to back it up. So it isn't going to get much damage done. A couple of strikes here, and there is the mortar from line. On that right-hand side, the Ice Golem is going to take the aggro from that just for a little bit. And an Executioner here from Pedro.
All right, we got the mortar miner deck here, obviously from line. And this is, I don't know, maybe he studied up how Benzer played it because that's his specialty. But now Lion is going up against Pedro, who brought the Furnace Graveyard deck here, even with the Executioner in there. So Lion, he might have a little bit of a hard time, especially when he puts that mortar down. If Pedro just puts down the Ice Golem and the Executioner, it's going to get rid of it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it is a problem. Line is on the back foot in terms of just straight hard matchup. But Line is actually does have a lead right now.
Yeah, he definitely does have a slight lead here. The Tesla is doing a lot of work with the Valkyrie in the front as well. Graveyard Poison.
Poison is down.
Nice miner.
Yeah. Good snowball too to get rid of those skeletons.
Yeah.
And look at the damage. 1-7-1-5. Pedro is very much on the back foot.
He
and
had the rocket.
A miss in the tower from there. 1-2-8-3 remaining. Pedro back foot through this game. Is he going to be able to do? No Royal Giant for him. Just the Furnace and the Graveyard. So we're going to have to see how he's going to be able to manage this. I think that Graveyard was a little bit too early here.
Yeah, and that offensive poison for the archers. So now the Graveyard will get a little bit of value, but the Valkyrie cleaned up everything in the front, and now the time has run out into sudden death. And like I said before, Lion put down the mortar on the other side as he saw the Executioner being put down right behind the King Tower. He knew he had to put it on the opposite lane. It worked out pretty well. Look at this. 1,022 left on top right, 1,283 on the left. So a lot of damage done by Lion.
Yeah, both towers are looking very unhealthy for Pedro here. That rocket is in there too. So any damage plus the rocket could finish this up. There is the offensive poison. And the Graveyard isn't going to be able to get any damage. A couple of swipes, giant snowball there to help clean up. Archers in the back to help.
Nice Fisherman to take that.
That miner, one more hit, there we go. Rocket, it will finish it. There we go. Well played comes out from Pedro. That is how you play Mortar. Really well done.
Very well played. However, one thing that I'm kind of thinking in my head, what if Pedro just did the Furnace Royal Giant build, right? I think he didn't know Lion was going to bring that deck, but if Pedro just luckily happened to have that Furnace Royal Giant deck, I think it would have worked out way better than the Furnace Graveyard deck here, again, especially against this deck with the Tesla in hand for Lion, with the Valkyrie in hand, and a very cheap Giant Snowball in his cycle as well. So, I think deck choice-wise, Lion just had a upper hand just to begin with.
Yeah, Pedro tried something. He had the room to, right? Game 2, you were already one up. You have room to try things out. This deck is interesting. It looks like a Royal Giant, talks like a Royal Giant, but doesn't actually play like a Royal Giant. So I think you're right. I think as Lion, you probably thought, oh, I'm in for a rough ride. This is a Royal Giant. You see that Graveyard, you're like, all right, cool. Yeah. That's nice. Thanks. I'll take it. What are we going to see in Game 3?
Well, to be honest, Lion and Pedro, both of these players, they are known to be able to basically play any deck they feel like. There's no specific deck that they've always gone back to, played it over and over, because Lion last season, at the end of season, he joined DragonX and he played only a couple of games, and even in those couple of games, he brought out some crazy unique decks. Pedro this season joined up Kicks. He has been just dominating everybody with all different kinds of decks. So, it's very hard to predict what these guys are going to bring out in Game 3.
I'm hoping it's Goblin Giant Sparky.
No? Are you paper thin? am I missing something?
No, I got more hair than that. I got more hair. Okay, so Goblin Giant Sparky would be pretty interesting to see Pedro play. He also has the Ram Rider P.E.K.K.A. Dart Prince, which he 3-crown Benza with. I mean, could that be what we're going to see from him?
Well, you know, Goblin Giant Sparky, I don't know about that. But the Ram Rider deck, possibly, because Pedro, it seems like he always goes back and forth, but he tends to lean a little bit more towards the cycling decks. It doesn't have to be like 2.6, right? But he still, it feels like Pedro prefers to be able to cycle through, whether it be offense or defense, so he can kind of play around with his opponent's units by placement, by better placing units than the opponents.
Yeah, but it looks as though we're almost ready to get into this one between Pedro and Lion here. So who's going to take game 3? Is it going to be DragonX Lion in blue, or is it going to be Pedro in red at the top? And it looks as though Pedro is showing us what's coming. Is it going to be Hog Rider?
Wait, why Hog? I think now Pedro, he might just be like, oh wait, I see the skeleton. I was gonna say, just when I saw the furnace, I was like, all right, maybe he's turning back to the Royal Giants, because he just, you know, he thought the same thing that I was thinking in my head.
Well, it could be. We don't know at this point. These cards can go into any deck. Skeleton, Furnace. I mean, it could be the same deck we saw last time. It could be the Royal Giant. We're going to have to see.
But Lion definitely switched things up by bringing that Giant out with the Musketeer in the back.
What are we going to see with the Giant? We just have the Musketeer in the back, and there are minions. There is the Fisherman to pull that Giant into the center. Both towers take it out. There is the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack will pop as the Giant pops as well. That is unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Cleaned up very nicely, but 1984 on Pedro's top left tower.
And once again, Pedro starting off with the back step here, getting pushed back by Lion here. See if Pedro will be able to come back, because if Lion wins this game, not only does DragonX take the match, both the 2v2 and the 1v1 players get their revenge that they wanted.
Yeah, and that would feel great for DragonX. We could be seeing a repeat of 2018 Clash Royale League Asia, where DragonX won.
Yeah, possible.
I mean, completely different players, but, you know, then we would have the exact same season. We'd have Season 1, PONOS win DragonX Season 2. That would be... I'm not a superstitious person, but that would be incredible. But anyway, back to this game. Giant again. Lumberjack.
Oh, the Lumberjack.
Oh,
oh my God, but the minions are there to get rid of that Fisherman early. And the Lumberjack already got a couple of swings in and gets one more before he goes down. So this is huge. Pedro is taking so much damage. Look at this. Raised up minions.
Just unbelievable damage done here. And I mean, look at Lion's defense. 2, 3, 6, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4. Pedro just hasn't had anything that has worked for him. What does he have as his last card? How is he going to be able to beat this?
Oh my goodness. You guys have to remember, Kicks right now, with the set and games and everything, even though their win-losses are tied, Kicks are on top of DragonX. But if they lose here...
Well, it's looking very likely they're going to lose.
It seems like
seconds. Pedro is going to need one of the quickest pushes in history to be able to win this. Is he going to be able to do it? There is the Royal Giant. I don't think the Royal Giant is going to be quick enough here.
Not going to create history.
Nope. It looks as though DragonX have taken care of business today. Lion already ready to just go back and sit with his teammates. Incredible play by Lion today. Taking game 3. Just incredible Clash Royale between DragonX and Kicks today. DragonX do take it. 2-1 in the 2v2, 2-1 in the 1v1. Great games.
You know, this just shows that DragonX, they prepped for it. They were literally just waiting to go back against each other for the revenge matches, especially against those players that they've lost to. And like I said, Onion and Legend, they got defeated by TrueFest and Alpha, who they've defeated in the first week. Same goes for Pedro versus Lion. So now, not only do they get their revenge, DragonX, they are #1 in Group A right now. They have brought down Kicks.
Well, Kicks were looking one of the strongest teams in Group A. That is not a lie here, but DragonX just had their number. They must have practiced an incredible amount. I'm just blown away by these games. DragonX, just incredible.
There was definitely some crazy games today, and wow, getting these revenge matches actually like makes me think, oh, how much they've practiced, how much these players didn't practice. So no, it's very interesting to come back.
Yeah, but we will be back in a couple of minutes as we get into Detonation Gaming versus Talon. Do not miss this one. This should be a good one.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everyone, to Clash Royale League Asia. We just saw DragonX take out Kicks in 6 of the most enthralling games of Clash Royale I think I've seen so far this season. But we are going to get into the next match between Detonation Gaming, as you can see on the left, and Talon on the right. We're going to see how this one goes.
It definitely was exciting game in that first match. But now moving on to our second match, like you said, Detonation Gaming and Talon. Both of these teams, even though Detonation Gaming, their record is 3-3, they still are at 5th place because of the sets and games. So now if they want to move up, they want to get out of 5th place, they have to beat Talon, who is actually 1-5. And obviously, I don't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Talon, they have to basically win all of their games that are left over here. And that starts by defeating Detonation Gaming today.
Yeah, I mean, but look, the one match that Talon have won. They beat Kicks.
Yeah.
You beat the top team, but you can't beat anyone else in the first half of the season. It's going to look rough. But as you can see, Joker Tempura versus Yu-Gi-Oh! And The Rock. We do have a Tornado ban as usual and a Balloon ban, which is very interesting. And then we have Hani and Hani on his debut 1v1 match versus Tochi. I guess it's Tochi Lovac.
Yep, we just call him Tochi.
Yep. So that's going to be an interesting game. Hani and Hani only played really King of the Hill, which I believe he won. I need to just quickly check my list. He's played 2 1v1s. He did beat Reiki Jones and lost to Brad in PONOS. So this should be a very interesting match.
Definitely will. It definitely will be. And like I said today, all of today's matchups are the revenge match of week 1. However, unlike the first match that we had with DragonX and Kicks, all the players here are playing differently. They're not going up against each other like they did with DragonX and Kicks, where exactly the same 2v2 players went up against each other. The 1v1 players went up against each other, getting their revenge match. This time, Detonation Gaming and Talon, they're switching everything up. Joker and Tempura versus Yu-Gi-Oh! And The Rock. Like Simon mentioned, both of these pairs, 2 of both on either side, are playing each other for the first time this season.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually playing his first 2v2 this season. Could this be his
transition? Because his 1v1 records are definitely not clean at all.
Yeah, but could this be where he should be playing? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very creative player.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen that kind of does hurt in 1v1 because the decks he brings are never quite strong enough against the decks that are in the meta in Clash Royale League Asia, right? He's never really brought a quality deck to the matches. So we're going to have to see if he can finally find a place in this team as the 2v2 partner with The Rock.
We'll have to see what happens here. Like we said, it's all up in the air, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh! Joining the 2v2 with The Rock, because we've only seen him basically play 1v1 in King of the Hill. So we'll see how creative he can get, because in 2v2s, you can get a little creative.
Yeah, but we're going to get into this one as Detonation Gaming are going to be in blue and Talon in red. We're going to get into this very, very shortly. And the good looks do get thrown out. Interestingly, that Talon banned the balloon. Joker and Tempura did have quite a lot of success with the balloon freeze decks.
Oh, yeah.
So that could be why you would ban it, just to try and get rid of that comfort creature pick. But we're going to find out. Giant Skeleton from Detonation Gaming and a mini P.E.K.K.A. from Talon and their own Giant Skeleton too. This is going to be explosive, so you're in for a treat.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of explosives. Yeah, I was going to say there's going to be a clone at least on one side of this game, and there we go. We do see the clone. The clone Giant Skeleton finally gets popped by the Mega Minion, and ooh! Detonation Gaming took a lot of damage from the death damage.
It was really interesting that Talon threw down that clone so early. And the whole reason was to get the clone Giant Skeleton
Another one.
to just push everything forward. And the Fisherman pulls the Giant Skeleton. Is that going to be its downfall? It doesn't look like it will. I don't
Oh my goodness. I think the Lumberjack got at least like 8-9 swings into the tower. That damage that Detonation Gaming took was basically all just by that one Lumberjack locking on.
Ooh, playing the Fisherman to the Giant Skeleton. I mean, I guess that's one way to activate King Towers.
Yeah. They've done this a lot, many of the times, so...
Yeah, taking 1,000 damage from just activating the Giant Skeleton does seem a bit counterintuitive, one would say, but here is the Giant Skeleton on the defense.
Oh, and a Royal Giant and a Rage.
Clone comes down from Talon to try and help defend this push, and it looks like they will defend quite well. They did take a lot of damage, though. 1,555 remaining on their tower. All these death bombs will clean up this push. There we go. Yu-Gi-Oh! Nods in approval there. Not very often we saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Take a lead.
Definitely not. You can see that this Talon clone deck, double clone deck, has been working out. They have found the cycle that they like. They have found the way that they wanted to defend. There we go, offensive poison. Unfortunately, it's not a lightning or a zap to cancel that Infernal Tower, but still.
Double raged up dragons there. One clone does clean everything up. 1-3-1-8 remaining. Giant Skeleton on the defense. There's the mini P.E.K.K.A. too to try and help. The Fisherman, though, moving that Giant Skeleton into range of the tower. Is it gonna hurt them? Oh, it does connect with the Giant Skeleton. Interesting play so far from both teams. The Giant Skeleton on both sides doing so much work defensively, but do they have any offense? We see double Skull Barrel, double Baby Dragon here with the clone now.
It's already dropped. We do have that offensive poison there.
The barrel connects to the tower, 6-4.
Oh my goodness.
4. Is it going? 3-2-3 remain. They don't have Rocket. They don't have a big spell. They do have Poison, which means they're going to have to use 2 poisons to take this tower down. But Talon have a very, very strong lead. And there is the clone again. So that clone Giant Skeleton will push the big Giant Skeleton in the
defensive
barrel.
Poison. The barrel does connect the explosive damage, and the Skeleton does get a couple of scratches in. 64 to cycle through 1 poison. It is good game for Talon.
Yeah, that one Skeleton there kind of matrix dodged the log that was coming through. Beautiful, beautiful 2v2. Should this have been the 2v2 pairing for Talon so far? Because that was solid 2v2.
It definitely was. The 2v2, the way that Talon played it with the double clone, just going back and forth, finding actually their cycle that they were comfortable with. So they were able to defend and go offensive with the clone basically like 99% of the time. And it was just creating chaos for Detonation Gaming, because every time the cloned double death bombs were on the floor, they had to wait. All right, do we place the units? How much units do we put down to defend against this clone? Because we know after we're done defending, we're gonna lose them all to the death bomb.
Yeah, and I loved the clone so that the Giant Skeleton would push the other Giant Skeleton. It's such a simple move, but so clean when executed perfectly, as it was here. And I mean, that was Murder She Wrote. The E-Wiz just connecting onto the tower. Talon do take game 1 in this first set.
All right. Well, Detonation Gaming, on the other hand, they went back to the classic Giant Skeleton Royal Giant deck that that we've seen a lot in Season 1 or in the past season. But obviously, nowadays, it's a little bit different. Clone, double Giant Skeleton, definitely doing the job, especially with the Fisherman being added. You saw the Fisherman pulling some of the Giant Skeletons, some of the Royal Giants that Detonation Gaming put down.
Yeah, but we never saw the explosion connection onto the tower, which hurts my soul.
Yeah.
It's the only bad part about that game, but we are going to get into game 2 here. Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Rock in red at the top, Joker and Tempura in blue at the bottom.
All right, there we go. Detonation Gaming, we know that they have been Talon in the past. But like I said, all these matchups, all these pairs are different. So Talon, with this big switch up by putting Yu-Gi-Oh! In there and by putting Tochi back onto the 1v1s, will they be able to beat Detonation Gaming? Because they have to come back.
Are we going to see Graveyard Freeze and Mega Knight? No, we are going to see Giant Skeletons again from both teams. It looks as though Talon are bringing the same deck. There is that clone. And then the Giant Skeleton does go down, and that bomb actually hit absolutely nothing there.
Yeah, because the cloned one in the back died first, which, like you said, hit nothing. But now, Detonation Gaming also bring that, yep, there we go. Giant Skeleton and a Graveyard this time. So we can definitely expect a freeze to come through very soon. Defensive poison put down.
Yeah, we rarely see Graveyard in 2v2 without a freeze, because it's so easy for one person just to carry one. With the Fisherman is going to connect here. Does get a couple of fish slaps in, but not getting too much damage. 1471. But look at Detonation Towers.
Full health.
Full health.
Yeah. Full health. Very nice. It's good to see that Detonation Gaming swayed off of that Giant Skeleton Royal Giant, because that is Season 1, right? You know, we've been seeing that over and over. Now we've moved on to just Giant Skeleton Graveyard, Giant Skeleton Clones with the Scale Barrels, and now they're getting on with the program.
Yeah, but we're going to see, are they going to be able to defend this? That explosion damage will take out the Giant Skeleton. A double Baby Dragon here doesn't clean up the other Baby Dragon and the Musketeer. So Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Rock are kind of in trouble here. There's good Graveyard timing put in the back. So much stuff in the front. Look at the damage getting done here by those Skeletons. 8-0-2 remaining. And the Giant Skeleton was
so close.
So close.
I almost kicked my table here, because I was like, oh, so close. But look at this. Defensive poison put down a little bit late, but still it's going to do the job against defending that Graveyard. Yeah,
that mini P.E.K.K.A. saves the day, because otherwise that Giant Skeleton would have been on the tower and would have been looking at one tower deficit for Talon. But Talon decides to go down the right-hand side.
Ooh.
Good clone. There is a lot here. Is there a zap? Is there a no? There's nothing here. All the Skeletons on the tower here. That is a lot of damage getting done. 7, 8,
Boom,
8.
it's gone. But now they
Giants
traded.
Oh,
nice pull.
Yeah, but a good trade here. Fisherman is going to go down.
Look at all that.
Skeletons as well. Another Graveyard.
All right, they pocketed the Giant Skeleton, and they basically matched that. Oh, there was a freeze!
And
look at all of that!
That's it. Surely 300 remain.
Oh,
that
defensive poison.
That is the power of holding that freeze until the very last second. Look how much damage. There is the poison. That will clean it up. Very, very nice. Detonation Gaming take the second game.
Wow. Why are we getting such close games today? Great games, and obviously, like I said, Detonation Gaming moving away from the Season 1 decks, kind of getting on with the program here in game number 2. They cleanly take game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, they learned how to deal with it. They knew, they were like, are they going to bring the same deck? Because if they do, we know how to defend it now. We know what we can do. The Graveyard and the freeze, like the timings on those Graveyards from Detonation Gaming couldn't have been any better.
Exactly, and you know, Giant Skeleton clone that Talon brought. Yeah, we've seen that deck from time to time in 2v2s, but also Giant Skeleton and Graveyard Freeze. We've seen a lot more of that in the 2v2s, especially. So it feels more comfortable looking at the Graveyard and then looking at the Giant Skeleton tank for it, kind of distracting everything else. Basically, splitting your opponent's defense by forcing them to put down something for the Graveyard and put down something so the Giant Skeleton doesn't get to the tower. It's a very good strategy that Detonation Gaming had went back to after losing game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Talon here, last-ditch effort to try and get that tower down, but didn't work out. There were so many Skeletons there that if it had gone on and Detonation didn't defend, that tower would have gone down in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, definitely have. And now we're moving on to game number 3. We'll see how both of these pairs have swapped out their decks, or maybe they're just going to stay with it and just see, all right, we'll just play it better. Because we've seen a lot of 2v2 pairs do that.
Yeah, we see that, you know, it's very hard to have decks prepared that you've played all week in, week out, and then go, okay, so we won the first one, we lost the second one. Yeah. Let's just stick with what we've practiced with. It takes a very strong-minded team to be able to just change on a dime of what you've been practicing all week.
Exactly, especially in Clash Royale. Even though you're talking, even though you're communicating with your teammate through the mic, what you're thinking in your head and the way that you react with your hand after thinking it it's a lot faster, but then when you have to communicate before you make that action, it takes that point-something seconds out of that reaction time, and that's when the mistakes actually happen. And Bomb Tower coming in from Detonation Gaming.
Yeah, it looks as though we've got exactly the same decks from Talon. And Detonation Gaming were like, well, you played it in game 1, you played it in game 2. Why don't we just bring out some of the counters in game 3? And that's what we have here. The Executioner, though, is going to get a lot of value with that Goblin Cage tank, like stacking everything together.
Oh, but the Lightning is going to open up that thing, that lane, but that E is nicely put down.
Yeah, but the Miner in the back is very healthy. And one pup remains on the front. That is a lot of damage getting taken there by Talon.
All right, so both of these players, they swapped out their decks. You can tell Detonation Gaming, they got rid of the Giant Skeleton. They went, oh, the Giant Skeleton reached the tower for Detonation Gaming. There we go, the Fisherman pulls him back out.
Fisherman saves. They burn another clone. Does that push it into range? I think it does. Yes, it did. Beautiful, beautiful clones there, just pushing. I think they both used clones there to make sure that the Giant Skeleton was pushed.
Yeah.
One, and then again into the tower. Smart play with the clones here by Talon.
Wow. So, like I was saying, Talon, they brought the Executioner just in case of any, you know, air units or any, you know, multiple group units that are spawning, and that was a great call by Talon. Same goes for Detonation Gaming. They have brought the Bomb Tower for the AoEs. They brought Valkyrie for the AoEs, and they also brought the Lava Hound so it doesn't get distracted by the Giant Skeleton.
What are they going to do about this Giant Skeleton?
Oh,
That's on
the Bomb Tower! They wanted it to pull it, but it didn't!
So that is...
That's a goner.
Is it gone?
No, well, the tower is still alive, but I'm saying the Death Bomb has connected, and basically it's a goner. 396.
Talon have kind of turned this game on its head. Like, this is incredible play by them. They've played the same deck pretty much 3 times in a row. And even when Detonation Gaming bring things that counter it, it's just too good. So good. We were saying before that they shouldn't be bringing the same decks, but who are we
look at the
to
skeletons!
judge?
So many of them! 830 on the King Tower.
Yeah, is Detonation Gaming even going to get one tower? 61? No, 16.
Oh, the baby truck.
But the mini P.E.K.K.A. almost connected onto the tower on the bottom right. But Detonation Gaming do tie it up, but they are so far behind. They go one lane, Talon can go the other, they can put it in the pocket, Fisherman there. The clone actually completely whiffing on those Giant Skeletons, but that Giant Skeleton is getting closer to
Lumberjack on the King Tower. 230.
It's getting so close. There is the poison and the log to finish it up. Talon take a 2v2 game for the first time this season.
Is it really?
It is. It's their first 2v2 win this season.
Oh my goodness. Congrats to Talon. Finally, they take that first win. Yugi Art the Rock. It's like they practiced. It's just that the fact that they've only practiced the clone Giant Skeleton's Cow Barrel is kind of, you know, but they've practiced it enough, like you said, Simon, during the game, especially in game 2 and 3. Even though they lost, they stuck with it. They changed maybe a couple cards. They brought in the Executioner in game 3. However, the foundation of the decks that they practiced, they stuck with it. They made it work. They took the victory of set 1.
Even when it looked like Joker and Tempura had the counters to just ruin that deck.
Yeah.
Talon Gaming, with some incredibly smart plays. The clone plays to push the Giant Skeletons along was just beautiful to watch. I mean, it's something we've always known, right? It's been around for quite a while. That clone pushes the unit forward.
Yeah.
But the way they were using it, clone and clone, to push it forward twice, it's just unbelievable play.
I think it's right now. Okay, oh, it's already done.
Yeah.
They already did it by now, but oh,
this
my
is
goodness.
game 2 when Detonation Gaming took this one. So Detonation Gaming did take game 2. That graveyard and then the perfectly timed freeze as overtime starts, as we see so many times, just taking that game. There was the poison, throwing out the snowball, and that finished that one. So it looked as though Joker and Tempura had a great understanding of how to beat this deck, but this happened.
Yeah. See, like I said, during game 3, they brought the Bomb Tower, they brought the Valkyrie, they stuck with the Baby Dragon. for the clones, right? And then they also changed out the giant skeleton so they don't meet at the bridge. They brought the lava hound so they can ignore anything on the bridge that's ground units and just go straight to the Princess Tower. However, the clone giant skeleton plus the skull barrel, it wasn't perfectly defended, even though, like you said, they brought the counter cards to it.
They had every tool available and they still couldn't defend it. And that giant skeleton bomb, we thought it was just in range. It was ever so slightly out. King Tower goes down.
Yep.
3 crowns for Yu-Gi-Oh! And The Rock. And I'm saying now, if you had Yu-Gi-Oh! Or The Rock in your fantasy team, fair play to you, because they have not had that many crowns this season.
Definitely. And, you know, Talon, they just haven't had that many wins. They had 1 win, basically, on the day. They haven't had set wins in a while. But now we have Hane Hane coming up here. We can see his record. He has been here and there. He's played 2v2. He's played King of the Hill. However, first time on that 1v1 here.
Yeah, we can see the manager there giving him the massage to try and calm him down, because that is a lot on your shoulders. Your first 1v1 in Clash Royale League Asia, not including King of the Hill.
Nope.
And then, you know, he's going up against Tochi here, who hit and miss, but is still a really good 1v1 player. And we've seen like Giant Skeleton Graveyard as always, Goblin Giant Sparky, Lava Hound Miner from this guy. He can play pretty much any kind of deck. But Hane Hane, there's no information really about what he does in 1v1, which puts like the advantage for Detonation Gaming. How does Tochi prepare to play a guy who they've never seen play 1v1 in Clash Royale League Asia?
Yeah, we'll have to see, because, you know, like you said, Hane Hane basically is a 2v2 player for Detonation Gaming.
Yep, but we are going to get into this one very, very shortly. So we have Hane Hane in blue at the bottom of the screen, Tochi in red at the top. And this should be a very interesting game. We finally get to see Hane Hane, his 1v1 prowess, because we haven't seen it so far. We get to see Tochi perhaps closing out a very rare victory at this point of the season for Talon Gaming.
Definitely. If Tochi is able to win, because Yu-Gi-Oh! And The Rock has taken victory in set 1, they can actually get their 2nd win of the season here. We'll have to see what Tochi and Hane Hane decide to bring. We can see, obviously, the Giant Skeleton Graveyard from Hane Hane.
Yeah, and that Giant Skeleton is actually getting pretty close. The Brawler will take it out with the Baby Dragon. The guards in the back defending against that Graveyard did a pretty good job. However, that bomb...
Baby Dragon. That one Baby Dragon is not going to be enough to basically well defend this Lava Hound Baby Dragon. Plus the Miner in the back. The Fisherman will pull it. Still, the Miner decides to just stick with hitting the Princess Tower.
Yeah, and that Baby Dragon is still pretty healthy.
Oh my goodness, look at this. You can see Hane Hane basically just scratching his head. He's like, all right, Giant Skeleton, Graveyard, Fisherman, they don't attack air. What do I do?
Well, he has 10 elixir, throws down the...
Goblin Hut.
Goblin Hut, all right. Still can't see why you would bring that. That's interesting. But the Lava Hound, the Baby Dragon connects onto the King Tower. It looks like Hane Hane kind of just like, I have no idea what to do from this point. Is this going to be 3 crown? Are we going to go 3 crown? Or are we going to say it's just going to finish with the 1 crown?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a 3 crown here. Because of the deck that Hane Hane brought still, with the Giant Skeleton Graveyard, Tochi's going to be busy defending now, because as long as he defends it well, he just wins. So he doesn't have to force a 3 crown here. But a counter push will also just be on the right lane. So I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing a 3 crown here. But so maybe, you know, it might just get a little bit close as long as Hane Hane is able to take down a Princess Tower. However, like I said, Tochi just has to focus on defending that one lane.
Well, he's kind of put that defense on the back burner as he puts down the Lava Hound with the Graveyard there as well.
Infernal Dragon.
Guards are doing a very good job of defending here with that Baby Dragon. The Lava Hound does connect onto the tower. There is a Miner in the back. The Pups are doing so much damage. There is an Inferno Dragon there. The Baby Dragon is going to get a couple of hits in here too. The guards, very healthy. 8-3-3 remaining. Tochi making a huge statement here for Talon as Hane Hane looks lost out there. He doesn't have a 2v2 partner to chat to, and it shows as Tochi takes game number 1 here in very convincing style.
That was just too convincing. You know, nothing against Hane, like we said. It is his first game of the season. Even in the previous season, he was basically Teramaki's partner for Detonation Gaming for 2v2. So, you know, he hasn't played a lot of 2v2s. He's played a couple of King of the Hills like you saw in the record. However, Hane definitely, he still needs a little bit more games and time to get used to this just 1v1 environment, I think.
Like, at this point, it looked as though Hane just gave up. Like, Hane just kind of threw things down. He was like, all right, well, that tower is dead. I'll throw down my my Goblin Hut.
And he also leaked a lot of elixirs.
Yeah, he was sat there with 10 elixirs just kind of looking and staring, going, well, I can't play a graveyard against this.
No.
Because skeletons don't shoot up. Fisherman doesn't pull ground, like air units to the ground. So, I mean,
break the wings.
What could he have done? That could be a buff to the Fisherman. Not that he needs a buff.
No.
He just throws like his hook and just pulls it to the ground so skeletons can attack balloons.
G-Clef would yell at you if you say buff Fisherman, because I said Fisherman hook should get damage, right? And then G-Clef almost hit me.
Yeah, that
he
wouldn't
almost
surprise
hit
me.
But anyways, the timeout is called for Detonation Gaming, obviously for the reasons that if Tochi takes this next game, it's over. Talon takes their second win of the season. Detonation Gaming, even though they are currently 3-3, they want to step up, because having the same record as Chaos Theory and PONOS is never good, because they can, Chaos Theory and both PONOS, they can always just hop up to the top 2.
Yeah, they can get victory surge all the way to the top. But Talon, if they can take this and they end 2-5, their season hopes are still very much alive. Because Detonation Gaming will be 3-4, they'll be 2-5. So all it will take is Detonation Gaming to lose one more, Talon to win one more, and then they won't be bottom for the first time in Season 2.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see if that will be possible. But that possibility will start with Tochi's victory in game number 2. If Hane comes back, I don't know what's going to happen, especially if he's able to take it to King of the Hills.
Yeah, King of the Hill is going to be interesting because both these teams, they don't have the strongest 1v1 lineups. Pyrameki, Hane, Tempura, Joker. I mean, Detonation Gaming's 1v1 isn't that strong either.
Yeah, well, Detonation, they do have Raya, who is not playing today. So that's one of the unfortunate things, because Raya, he's had some great victories in the past. He's beaten Pedro. He's beaten Nuri from DragonX. So he's had some great victories here, but let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, so we do see the miner from Tochi. Hane bringing down the Skelly army here.
Yeah.
So not much getting done right now, just kind of feeling each other out, trying to get a read of the decks, because there's not much you can read from either of these. Miner could be Miner Poison, could be Miner Graveyard,
I think it is
Skeleton,
it's possible.
could be Miner Balloon.
Yeah.
So many options, and it is the Lava Hound with that Miner. So the Giant Skeleton from Hane just kind of walking up, and that is a good sign there. We do have the Hunter from Hane. So Hane's deck looks a lot more defensive, but
yeah,
I thought that was just going to get
I think that was one of the reasons. Game number 1, like I was saying kind of jokingly, nothing attacks the air. Finally, Hane brings a Hunter and even a Dark Goblin and the Bats just to make sure, and that will perfectly defend his Princess Tower here.
Yeah, well, the Skarmy comes down, does clear out those guards, but, you know, Skarmies don't really do that much damage to the tower if there's nothing in front of them. And cleaned up before they even get near.
There was one time, I think it was the past Thursday, 2 days ago, where TNT, he literally just split push one side with his main push, and the other side just Skarmy. And the Skarmy basically took out one whole Princess Tower because it was undefended. And
that Barrow getting so many stabs here.
Yeah.
1-5-4-1 out of nowhere. That Barrow comes out and deals so much damage. Look at that. 1-5-4-1 on the tower. Tochi responds with a Lava Hound, so he's going to have to try and build up a push here. Does he have anything that can take out that Hunter before the Hunter takes out the Lava Hound? Doesn't look like he does. The Fisherman is there. There is the
nice
Skarmy.
Baby Dragon to try to clear that up at ASAP, but Once again, Giant Skeleton in the front. That Lava Hound won't be able to do anything. Great Hunter placements.
Yeah, Hunter is a great defensive card. We just see what pretty much one-shot that miner there as it goes down to the tower. Like, oh, and a Royal Giant as well with the bats. There's the barrel in the back. So all the defense needs to be at the front and the back at the same time. This is very hard to defend. 7-3-6, it does get one more shot. 4-8-2. The Hunter, though, taken down. Guards coming in. The Giant Skeleton is there, and if it falls in that position, it is going to help defend against the Lava Hound pups.
Oh gosh, here we go. The Death Bomb will get rid of everything.
Fireball 2 gets rid of a lot of stuff, and the Dark Goblin is probably going to get 2 hits because those guards are not going to be in front of the tower. That's 2, 3, 4 hits. But
Honey, no spell, but these goblins, nice. Oh, the Zap was down, but still 1 poke.
That one goblin hiding in the back. Tochi thought that he had it. It looked as though there wasn't anything there, but the one stab was all it took. Tochi taking the loss there. Game 1 looked beautiful by Tochi. Game 2, Hani looked like he finally got his footing in this 1v1. He knows how to play on his own.
Yeah, he does. Of course he's going to play on his own. It is a 1v1. You're not going to see his face there with different person's hands playing the game, right? But that was great.
I was just thinking, like, you've watched Ghost, right?
Yeah.
With the hand where they do the pottery scene. I can just imagine that with
goodness.
Clash Royale where, like, someone's hands
like the coach is in the back. You can see him playing for him. He's like, just make facial expressions. I'll just do it well. Just watch the game. Just make facial expressions according to what's happening. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this Dark Goblin was MVP once again. We've seen Dark Goblins today just being the MVPs, especially against that Graveyard in that 2v2. But in this set, 4 hits at the end, just allowing that one Goblin, that Ninja Goblin, to get the stab to finish the game. Dark Goblin created that opening.
Well, this is the thing right now, like, Log and Barbarian Barrel, we don't see that much in CRL because we rarely see bait decks anymore.
Yeah.
So we do see Log. We never see Bar Barrel anymore. But we do see Log. But whenever we see Log, it's always against someone who's known to play Graveyard.
Yeah. Graveyard or any quick cycling decks that they want to just bring in the Log just to cycle through. But Bar Barrel, like you said, basically we never see him anymore. Especially in 2v2s, we do see a lot of Logs because they want to cycle through it. But 1v1s, like you're saying, it's not non-existent, but it's rare enough where you can make a deck, make your opponent think you're going to go like all heavy in game 1 and then bring it in game 2, and they're not going to have the Log. Yeah.
And then you just take it. That's what happened there.
Exactly. And even in game 2, Hani, if you remember his deck, there was 0 spells.
Yeah.
He had no spells. He just had to cycle through everything, hit the Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton. And those two enough make the deck heavy enough. And usually when you have the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant, you have at least 1 to 2 spells to support it. But he didn't feel like bringing spells. He just brought the Bar Barrel. He just wanted to constantly poke and poke and poke and just keep Tochi busy.
Well, it worked for him in game 2. Will it work in game 3 if he brings the same deck? We're going to find out. Hani in blue at the bottom, Tochi in red at the top, and both these players are on set point. But Tochi can get one of those rare victories for Talon. If he wins here, he is on match point.
All right, well, we do see the Furnace. In 1v1s, Furnace basically refers to the Royal Giant, but it could still be the Furnace Graveyard that we saw.
Yeah, Furnace Graveyard has been making some moves. It's not the most popular of decks, but we have seen it once or twice, and there is the Barbarian.
Okay, so I think this is just, it is the Graveyard probably.
I have seen this
Well,
deck.
like, yeah, the thing is...
It could be Balloon.
Yeah, it could be Balloon. Like the Furnace Barb and Furnace, just looking at those two cards, it could be Royal Giant. It could also be Balloon, like you said, but we do also see the Miner in there with the Ice Golem. So I think this might just be the Balloon, like you were saying, but either way, before anything happens, defend against that Royal Giant.
Which he does pretty cleanly, and there is the Balloon. So the Miner's going to come in here. Maybe should have tried to put it on the Dark Goblin so it takes it out, but it doesn't matter. The Balloon is going to get one drop.
There we go.
But the Hunter and the Dark Goblin clean it up. And then Balloon, I thought the Musketeer was going to get one shot in there. I think the Miner should have been on the Dark Goblin. I think that would have definitely helped Tochi get a couple, maybe one more hit with the balloon.
Possible. But you can see Hane, he was so confident in his game number 2. He brought the exact same deck, identical. So Tochi already gained experience against this deck. So we'll see how well, because that last card that Hane is holding, most likely going to be that Bar Barrel that he has brought in game 2. Maybe he wanted to switch things up, but yeah, there we go.
There's
not Bar Barrel, Goblin Barrel, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of pokes in once again, 1600. So yeah, Hane, there's still hope for him.
We're going to see the balloon on the right-hand side.
Fire Spirit is getting rid of half of the Skarmy.
Yeah, this time the Miner was on that Dark Goblin, and the balloon's going to get a very healthy connection here.
That's the tower down.
Yes, beautiful by Tochi there. Beautiful play, dragging the Giant Skeleton all the way across the arena. Very good play by him. Is Hane going to get any answer here? The Barbs just surround that Giant Skeleton. The Dark Goblin trying to do what it can, but it's not going to get much done here. It's going to try to push forward here. The Musketeer is going to try to take things out. There is the Royal Giant, the barrel in the back. Beautiful Mega Minion placement there to try and take it out as quickly as possible. Tochi throws out the good game. The Royal Giant dies. It looks as though Talon are going to take a very rare victory here.
All right, well, today I think so far it's the day of revenge. Game 1, DragonX that gets their revenge against Kings. In match number 20, or with this match, Talon gets their revenge against Detonation Gaming.
Beautiful, beautiful games by Talon. The Miner, that Miner balloon deck is really interesting. I've seen different variations of it. There is the variation Miner Balloon Executioner with a cycle. It's a really, really strong deck.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But man, Tochi bringing it out there. As soon as he put that Miner on the Dark Goblin, that push was just always gonna take that tower. Dark Goblin is a great answer to a balloon if it connects.
Yep, and this is also another example of why many of these pros, they practice different decks, right? When you get one deck, even though you have dominated in one of the games and won, if you bring the same deck, your opponent, they're gonna be ready for it. They have gained experience from that. So, you know, maybe switch up decks, practice different kind of decks, and now we're already done with the second match.
Yeah, but stay tuned as we got Chaos Theory versus PONOS. Mid-table battle coming up. Make sure you don't leave this channel as we will be back in about 7 minutes.
Let's go.
And welcome back to the final match of this evening. Chaos Theory and PONOS. This is going to be an absolutely incredible match.
Yeah, if this was the previous season, this would be the two teams that are at the top. It wouldn't have been Kicks and DragonX because Chaos Theory and PONOS, they've played so well in the past season. But it's weird to see Chaos Theory and PONOS being 3rd place and 4th place. And in Group B, we have Brand Esports and GameWith at 5th and 6th. So the previous season, top 4 teams aren't doing so well this season.
Yeah, both Chaos Theory and PONOS mid-table here, but the winner here will go joint 2nd.
Yeah.
So this will be good for them. Chaos Theory currently have +1 in their record. PONOS are currently +0. What are we going to see today? That is the question. I mean, we've already seen Talon take a very rare victory. Will we see, for the first time this season, a Night Witch?
Night Witch? No. Stop dreaming.
Oh, we don't see a Tornado ban.
Yeah.
Hello, Graveyard and Lumberjack banned in this 2v2. Trainer
Wow.
Dexter's JTV banning out the Graveyard. Mikamboya and Tengod banning out the Lumberjack. So what are we going to see?
All right, so basically the Tornado being alive, we always talk about this, where the Tornado being alive, it kind of restricts the Lava Hound because it does bring in the pups at the same time. Also, the minor placement, you have to place it at that corner so it doesn't get pulled in and activate the King Tower. So the Tornado being alive, it basically, it does create different kinds of decks, but it also restricts many of the cards and makes the players kind of take caution in playing some of the cards. So it's going to be very interesting, but the Graveyard ban will definitely also one of the most popular cards in 2v2 these days.
Yeah, I still think we're going to see a freeze, though. I think we're going to see Giant Skeleton freeze, but without the Graveyard, maybe.
Yeah, we can definitely still see that clone with the skeletons, right? The Skell Barrel, Giant Skeleton, even a Witch in the back. We've seen that happen a lot of times with the cloning deck. So we'll see, because anything could happen here now.
Yeah, we have seen Trainer Dexters and JTV play the Balloon Freeze.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen them play more of a minor control kind of 2v2 style. Plus Lava Hound. I mean, everyone plays Lava Hound these days. So anything is possible with these. But from PONOS, we have Mikamboya and Tengod. We could see Giant Skeletons, Lava Hounds, Peckers, basically anything.
Yeah, basically anything. And also, the Tornado being open, I'm pretty sure at least in one of the games, we're going to see a Tornado with paired up with the Giant Skeleton. So that one death damage and the Tornado will get rid of everything that is trying to counter it. So, yeah, Tornado being alive or, you know, being open to these players will just kind of allow all these players to finally use a Tornado in creative ways.
If they even bring Tornado.
Yeah.
You know, they've been practicing for so long without Tornado that they probably feel like they don't have any 2v2 decks that has the Tornado in there, because Tornado is banned nearly 100% of games. But we're going to see what craziness awaits us as Trainer Dexters and JTV for Chaos Theory take on Mikamboya and Tengod from PONOS.
All right, here we go. Lumberjack ban also.
We can see that the game hasn't even started, and Mikamboya hasn't stopped talking. His eyebrows are going. I mean, this guy is... You could get rid of Clash Royale, and I could just watch his face for 30 minutes. Like, it's incredible.
So you can get rid of the phone in the front. We can see his position. It's like he's ready to fight.
Yeah, okay, so we see Mega Minions here. The Fireball comes down onto that Ice Wiz, but that's not going to take it out. It is going to have a slither of HP. Dark Prince charging in. Giant Skeleton with a Mega Minion as well. There is the Royal Giant. Okay, we haven't seen it work that much this year.
Rage spell as well.
Fisherman there to try and pull anything.
Nice rocket. Nice rocket.
But the Giant Skeleton
a little
is in
bit
front.
too late. But look at Mikamboya. He's happy. He's happy. He's happy. He knows that that Tornado Rocket wasn't the way that Chaos Theory wanted it to go.
But look at the damage that's going to get done here. The Giant Skeleton death damage as well, taking that down to 2,700-ish. 2,829.
While we have a little bit of time, Chaos Theory in week 1 they beat PONOS, right? The matchups are a little bit different. It was Trainer Dexter's and JTV, but it wasn't Mikamboya and Tenka. So maybe the switch up is the answer for PONOS to beat out Chaos Theory here.
Yeah, we see the Royal Giant Skeleton, and look at that! The Giant Skeleton being pulled by the Dark Prince pushed the Royal Giant into the range of that King Tower. Is it going to go down to 3? 1, 2, 2, 1 remain. It was going to go for the Inferno Tower, but the Giant Skeleton being pushed back by that Dark Prince did force the Royal Giant to connect onto the King Tower, and a beautiful defense against that Lava Hound here by PONOS, and they continue to move forward.
All right, good catch on that with the push, but we can basically see that it's a convincing win for PONOS right now.
Anything can happen. This is 2v2. We cannot stress that enough. The Giant Skeleton is going to slowly walk. There is the Goblin Cage. Didn't quite catch the Lava Hound. Miner comes in the back. That does start hitting the cage. That is not good news.
The tornado. There we go. The Death Bomb Tornado. Finally done its job correctly here for PONOS. And I'm thinking in my head, PONOS, they have 2 Royal Giants. They can just pocket both for the King Tower with the Rage spell down. And even if Chaos Theory puts down an Inferno Tower, they'll get rid of it and then just lock right onto the King Tower and finish the game.
1, maybe 2 hits. Maybe it's going to finish the tower here. It's looking possible. Tornado, but it did get that last hit. 1 more shot, and the Baby Dragon should finish this up. There we go. Mikamboya and Tenka take game 1. 3 crowns right there. Beautiful, beautiful play by PONOS.
Yeah, very clean. They knew what they were doing. Chaos Theory, they also, it's not that they didn't know what they were doing, but that Tornado Rocket, it didn't match up as they wanted. And you saw the moment that it didn't work out the way they wanted, Mikamboya screamed right next to Tenka. He was happy because that was the moment when that Giant Skeleton reached that Princess Tower. I think it's right here, right off the bat from the beginning here. There's going to be,
Prince. Yeah, and it just didn't.
Because if you notice, Dexter's threw the rocket, JTV had to use the Tornado, so it wasn't one player using both the spells. If it was, I think it would have gone a lot more smoother, but it was 2 different spells by 2 different players. They had to communicate perfectly. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't take into account the mass being pushed against each other from the Royal Giant and Giant Skeleton. I feel like if the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant were side by side, it would have worked a lot better. But they kind of blocked each other from being pulled into the center. And that's why we saw a 3 crown right there.
Yeah, a very clean win by PONOS, but I still think that Chaos Theory, they still have a chance to come back because Trainer Dexter's and JTV, they have been just playing phenomenal in 2v2, so they can always come back. It's just like a 1v1. You play one, even though you lose one game, you always have the chance to switch your decks, counter, or go back to a comfortable deck.
Yeah, but we're going to see what happens here in Game 2 very shortly as Trainer Dexters and JTV take on Mikamboya and Tenka. And it looks as though that break that Mikamboya has had, he hasn't been here for, he wasn't here last week, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So it seems that time off has really helped rejuvenate his Clash Royale prowess after that first game. But we're going to see what happens here in Game 2 very, very shortly. Magic Archer, Goblin Cage, and
Zappies.
Don't see Zappies very often, that's for sure.
All right, I think this is possibly the first Zappy in this season.
It is
Last season we've seen a lot of Mega Knight Zappy combo, but
Hogs. So yeah, this could be Mega Knight as well. The Hogs are not going to get that much damage. The Ice Wiz and the Dark Prince do make light work of that. And Hogs going down the other side. Interesting play. But a beautiful fireball from PONOS, just saying, no way, Jose.
Nice. That Dark Prince charge damage negated by the pull from the Fisherman.
Yeah, fish slapping their way through. Fisherman pulls Fisherman. Always remember the Fisherman that was on the ground first is the one that pulls the other one.
Yeah.
So the older Fisherman nearly always wins.
Yeah.
All right, Magic Archer coming down. Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton.
All right.
Mikamboya Tenka taking us to 2018 2v2 here. Mini P.E.K.K.A. played in the back to try and take out that Royal Giant. Does get 1 hit, 2 hit. Beautiful tornado. Didn't get that last hit, but the
Magic Archer. I was thinking, only if that pulled the Magic Archer in as well, that would have been a super clean tornado. Unfortunately, it was good enough.
Yep, Dark Prince and Ice Wiz again cleaning up those hogs a little too easily. Dark Prince and Royal Giant will take out the Fisherman, the Musketeer will take out the Dark Prince, and then we'll see what happens with the Ice Wiz. Doesn't make it across the bridge, and the Musketeer takes it out.
Alright, a slow tempoed game here, but Chaos Theory, their double Royal Hog, is just being defended so well by PONOS because they have the Tornado, they have the Fireball if they need, they have the double Baby Dragon, and even the Dark Prince. So many AoEs here.
Look at the pushing going on there as the Royal Giant got a couple of hits.
Oh yeah.
That pushing with the raged up Giant Skeleton into the Royal Giant. It's not very often you see a Royal Giant basically stand on the edge of the arena.
Yeah. And right now, PONOS, you can see Mikamboya also talking right now. He's giving the shot calls right now to Tengod, it seems like. And there we go. Once again, they want to push it through. Giant Skeleton in the front this time. Oh, the Fisherman pulls him in!
And that, Obi, that you could see the smile on Mikamboya's face when that Fisherman went down. And it's looking like a very clean 2-0 here for Mikamboya and Tengod. No 3 crown this time, but they don't need it. Mikamboya, Tengod, happiest I've seen them in quite a while.
Yeah.
Great plays going on there. Oh,
wow.
What a game.
All right, so, you know, now we don't really have to always pinpoint the positioning of Fishermen. We have seen many of the Fishermen, well, I don't want to say mistakes, but misplacements by placing them by the Princess Tower or behind the Princess Tower or behind the King Tower so it walks next to the Princess Tower, right? That also creates and buys time for your opponent to place units that you want the Fisherman to pull. And that's exactly what happened here. It was a little bit quicker reaction from PONOS because the Fisherman was right next to the Princess Tower as it was placed. So you can see Mikamboya screaming, Giant Skeleton on the bridge, and that was perfect.
Well, the thing is, I guess what they were hoping for is that the Royal Giant ended up on the left-hand side, so the Fisherman would have pulled in the Royal Giant and not the Giant Skeleton, but unfortunately it didn't work out for Chaos Theory, Trainer Dexters, and JTV there. But they do have their ace in the sleeve. Benza Riddell coming out. Hasn't been having the greatest successes of late, but he is one of those players that, even if his run of form isn't that great, he is still a scary player to play against.
I want to see this pull here that's going to happen very soon. This is game number 2. Here we go. This is it.
I think it's a little bit after this. It's a little bit.
Oh, it's the next push. Okay, so after this Tornado, it was a next push. I hope they show it. All right, it's this one. Yeah, look at the Fisherman right there. Look at Mikamboya. Look at how happy he is. Look at them just talking. And they're like, all right, it pulled it. And it was basically game over when this happened.
Like, communication is key in 2v2, and when your players talk as much as Mikamboya and Tengod and can play while talking,
that's the best.
It's a scary team. But we do see this guy right here, Benza Riddell, the ace of Chaos Theory, currently 3-3 in his score, not having the best results, but every time he plays, you can see that it is just form that is temporary. The class behind the player is permanent. Benza Riddell is just insane.
Yeah, definitely. And he's going to be going up against Rad, right? So right now, PONOS, if you look at their records or if you have been keeping up with who's been playing 1v1s for PONOS, they've been going all around in cycle. Every single player, nobody played more than 2 1v1s. And Mikamboya was the only one player that played 2 1v1s. Everybody else played 1 1v1. So all 5 players of PONOS are rotating around in 1v1. Today, I guess it was Rad's turn. And now he's going to be going up against one of the strongest players in CRL Asia.
Yeah, well, Rad has had success with the Lava Miner Barbarian deck that I think we saw earlier, right?
Yeah, we
saw the Miner Barbarian. Like, Rad is pretty good with that deck. He did destroy. He has also had success with the Royal Giant, but Benza has had success with nearly every archetype out there. So is he going to be able to bring Chaos Theory back into this one? Or is Rad going to be able to close us out for another 2-0? We're going to find out very, very shortly as both players throw out a couple of emojis while they're just waiting to hit that 10 elixir mark. And there is Spear Goblins from Benzeridel.
All right. Well, Spear Goblins and Goblin Gangs from Rad, and another Goblin Gang from Benzer. So, you know, these cards are two of my favorite cards that I've used ever since Clash Royale has come out.
Yeah, well, it looks like Benzeridel is going to be bringing the mortar with us.
Definitely. So. I was just about to say that. There we go, right away. Mortar, right off the bat, as he sees the Giant plays on the right side.
Yeah, unfortunately, for
lock
Rad.
on.
Yep, it does get that lock on. The Skeletons, though, are going to take out the Rascal Girl. Lots of damage gained on the Miner, and...
Ooh, but the Graveyard Giant, the Giant is pretty healthy. The Goblin Gang will do his job, but still, Bar Barrel as well here.
Bar Barrel works really well in these kind of decks, purely because you want the body. You want something to block for your mortar. That is why you choose the Barbarian Barrel in this deck over a Log. For example, you need that extra body just to hold up your opponent's offense. And that is a lot of stuff coming down. The Rascals are there to stop any damage getting done to that tower. Arrows coming to take out the girl. Arrows?
Well, I think Rad, in his own mind, he was thinking, all right, if Benzer brings the mortar deck, he's going to have the Rascal, he's going to have the Spear Goblins, he's going to have the Goblin Gang. So, and what's better than arrows to clean all of that up?
Log.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
But the arrows is an interesting choice just in case there is the minion horde or the minions or any kind of light air unit. You do need those arrows to take them out. They do die to fireball, but you know you want positive elixir trades.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the arrows can get you.
There we go. Now the two Spear Goblins in the back will clean out the bats. However, the Graveyard in the back.
Arrow value there.
The arrow and the Giant Snowball is going to clean everything up. Force Benzer to literally just put down the Bar Barrel and the Goblin Gang that he wasn't planning on putting down. But there we go. The mortar right behind everything else. The Giant will soak up all of it.
Yeah. Red got so much value with those arrows. He took out the Goblin Gang, the Spear Goblins, and the Rascal Girls. And again, this time the Spear Goblins do survive. There are bats there to take out the Giant, but the Graveyard in the back is getting damage done ever so slightly. 4-8-8, and look how much stuff is moving forward. But arrow value again will clean this up in a flash.
All right, so he's going to keep the arrow for his initial push with the Giant, but the Giant is not that strong enough. Half health, it's going to lock onto the mortar to get rid of it, but Benzer, he hasn't been able to do anything on the right side. He's going to switch to the Bat Miner to the left side. Nice defense by Rad with the Giant Snowball and the Goblin Gangs.
Yeah, it is looking bad for Benzeridel. 4:02 remaining. He may be able to defend this push, but how many more pushes can he defend?
Arrows!
The arrows take out the gang. So much damage getting done. 182. But the Spear Goblins are defending pretty well. It doesn't look like the Giant this time is going to get through. So it is all or nothing now for Benzeridel. He has to make a push work, and it has to work now. The Miner in the back, the Goblins aren't connecting to the tower. Benzeridel throws out the good game. He knows that this is practically over. Spear Goblins trying to defend. Any hits here will do.
Giant Snowball.
There,
doesn't even need it.
Doesn't need it, but there we go.
All right, Rad. Well, see, the thing is, one game, it's all possible between any of these 1v1 players because they're such great players in 1v1. But now this is where the challenge begins. Benzer, he brought out the mortar deck. It did not work out. Rad 100% expected the mortar deck to come out. He at least considered it for it to come out. So he brought the arrow, he brought the Giant just to play it safe with the Graveyard. But now, what is he going to do in game 2?
I don't know. Like, the thing is, this deck is a really, really good deck. The arrows, though, constantly got value. I mean, arrows on the Rascal Girls and the Goblin Gang. Think of the conversion rate on that. That is insane. And I mean, the Graveyard, ever so slowly but surely, got chip damage onto that tower. And there was nothing Benzeridel could do. He had the Bar Barrel. Sure, he had the Goblin Gang. But there was also arrows to take nearly all of that out. There was just nothing Benzeridel could really do.
You can see that Benzer, sometimes he plays the Spear Goblins only, sometimes he only put the Goblin Gangs down because he wanted Rad to use the arrows, right? So he can put down the other depending on, you know, what he had in his hand. But when you are limited to putting down the cards that you have to defend a certain card because of your opponent's spell, that's when you take that small chip damage, and those small chip damages add up, and that's how Rad was able to beat out Benzer.
Well, I mean, everything he had in that deck died to arrows.
Yeah.
Everything.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Just the Rascal boy. Just insane. Like, this is the coach's job, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a coach victory. Sure, Rad was the one playing, but the coach is the one who said, all right, I got a feeling Benzer's going to play his Minor Mortar first. That could be, you know, it could be the routine. That could be what Benzer Riddell does week in, week out. So you're like, okay, this deck, make it work. This will beat Minor Mortar.
Yeah. And even though it wasn't Minor Mortar, like, yeah, the arrow, we haven't seen too much of it, but it still could get a lot of value depending, you know, as long as there's like maybe bats, goblin gangs, and, you know, it's evened out. So as long as you get like goblin gang plus something else, it's still a value that you can get out from the arrow. So I think Rad and his coach, they built a deck for Benzer, and it worked out very well.
Yeah, what we're going to see, is Benzer going to try and play that Minor Mortar deck again, or is he going to bring something different, knowing that Rad knows how to snipe it? We'll find out very shortly. Rad in red at the top and Benzer Riddell in blue at the bottom. Both just throwing out the emojis. Throwing out the emotes.
Yeah.
I don't see any kissy Night Witch faces, unfortunately.
Nope.
Both players just waiting now, burning the elixir. There are Spear Goblins now for Rad. Is he going to try to bring the Minor Mortar deck himself in this game? Nope.
Sparky right off the bat.
All right, Benzer knows that this deck is 99% sure. Oh, it's the Giant and the Sparky, not the Giant Goblin Sparky variant. So we're going to have to see, will this work? The Fisherman here is going to pull the Giant very, very close to the
that's going to actually help the Giant get closer and get closer to the Princess Tower a little bit faster. This is something that you don't want, and the Sparky gets rid of the Fisherman. Fortunately, it's not going to splash damage to the Princess Tower, but still, pulling in the Giant basically just helped Rad.
Yeah, I mean, but
because usually you don't want to put a unit that locks onto buildings right away. Just bring it closer. When its move speed is super slow, it's better to leave it alone.
I guess the idea was to open up space for Benzer to be able to defend Sparky with the Barbarians.
Yeah.
So pull away the Giant, take some damage, but take out that Sparky before he can do too much. I guess that was the thinking there. And we see the Lava Hound from Benzer Riddell. What is he going to support this with? The Baby Dragon is there. The Fisherman could pull in the Sparky, which can have very dire consequences for the tower.
Here we go. All right, once again, he's going to pull in.
Oh, it got the Goblins.
Oh, he's locking onto the smaller units, and now the Sparky locks on.
Yep, that is the dangers of relying on that Fisherman. It did take out all the Goblins, but look at the damage being done. Look how well Rad is defending here.
Wow, is today the day of revenge? It's a redemption day today.
Every match has gone the opposite from the first part of the season.
Correct.
But that tower is taking a lot of damage. Benzer is getting a decent amount. 448 remain. 33 seconds left on the clock.
And the Lava Hound was placed a little bit behind, so now he's basically, Benzer just has to leave that Lava Hound and hope for it to do its job at that top right tower. Maybe he's going to put down the poison, but yeah, he's going to support it with the Baby Dragon. All right, so what's he going to do with the bottom left here? He's going all in for that top right.
Beautiful predictive poison taking out the minion horde. There is the zap
to reset it.
Sparky is
still gonna get it.
One hit. Giant
still
gets a hit too.
Yeah.
Minor is there. 2/2/2 remain. 1/5/8, but the only spell he has is a zap. So
Minor zap
still needs to hold on.
Yeah, Rad has to defend this initial push, which is going to be pretty easy. There we go, the Minor comes through.
Fisherman's there.
Oh, the pocket Sparky as well. Oh my goodness, Rad, 2 zeros. Benzer right now.
What is going on today? Benzer Riddell takes the loss there, 0-2. Rad basically had everything going for him. He had the better deck selection. It looked as though he sniped Benzer. It looks as though he went into the changing rooms, took a look at what Benzer was going to play and was like, okay, I'm going to play this one. I'm going to play this deck. and just destroy you. Great play by Red.
I'm thinking in my head right now, like, could Rad's second deck that he played in game number 2 go up against Spencer's motor deck is what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I think he could have done. Either way,
Yeah.
incredible play. But Benzeridel, form his temporary classes tournament, definitely applies to this guy. He is insane. We'll see him next week coming back and probably not in a very happy mood. Will just destroy everyone. But confirmation of today's results. DragonX did beat Kix, then Talon beat Detonation Gaming, and then PONOS beat Chaos Theory.
Yeah, this literally has been the redemption week for all the losing team in week 1 here. Kix loses, Detonation loses, Chaos loses. So basically, it's the opposite results of week 1. And, you know, you need days like this where the losing team of to a certain team gets to win. And this is the standings after the second game of Group A after half the season.
Yeah, DragonX at top 5 and 2, Kix, PONOS 4 and 3, Chaos Theory 3 and 4, with Detonation Gaming also 3 and 4. That is a battle for the last slot there. And then Talon finally getting another W on the board, 2 and 5. Is it their turn to bring this season back?
Well, we do have 3 more games left for Group A before we figure out who the bottom 2 teams are. And Detonation Gaming as well as Talon, they still have a chance.
Yeah, but tomorrow, Group B is going to be here. OPGG versus OGN Entus, Fav Gaming versus Sandbox, and Brent Esports versus GameWith. I never thought I'd say this, but Brent Esports versus GameWith is a battle of the bottom 2 teams.
Exactly, and the team that loses tomorrow is securing their position at bottom. Obviously, they still have a chance. They will have 3 more games after tomorrow, but because Brand Esports and GameWith, they're tied 2-4, 2-4 at 5th and 6th place, the loser of tomorrow is literally going to be 6th place for at least another week unless they get like 2 game wins in a row.
Well, it's going to be tough, but Group B is the group that we've been following, probably the closer one. So I'm excited to watch all of this tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Group B, Group A though. Group A today has been unreal in just the cleanness of some of these games. And I got to say, the coach for PONOS deserves the victory. I believe it's Fucci.
Yeah.
Right? It's Fucci who is the coach now. He did play for them for a while.
I think so. Yeah.
Just excellent deck selection. Just countered everything there. I mean, we saw Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2v2.
Mikamboya coming back after a rest, doing well.
It's just great.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
I just can't believe it. It's been a great day of Clash Royale today. We will be back tomorrow with Group B. But for now, good night, everyone.